Welcome, friends. My name is Casey. I use the pronoun she, her, and I am so excited because class today is in the W. Seymour Conservatory in Wright Park in Tacoma, Washington. And this historic glass conservatory opened in 1908, and it has a distinctive 12-sided dome. And if you're from Tacoma, you're familiar with this space. If not, I hope you enjoy getting to practice here virtually. And this class will be a standing series. You don't need a yoga mat. If you're able to practice outside, maybe even enjoy a little earthing. So shoes off, socks off, and let's get started standing. We'll get started in a standing meditation. So have some space between your feet, a little bend in your knees so that you're standing comfortably. You could even connect one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. Maybe close your eyes or just find a soft gaze down to the earth. And begin to pay attention to your breath. Pay attention to your body. Also pay attention to your surroundings. We are influenced and affected by our external situations. So if we are dealing with hardship or a lot of stress, we feel that in our body. Conversely, when we can get out in nature, when we can be outdoors, notice what kind of impact that may have on you. Maybe you can feel a softening or an ease, a more relaxed sense of your body. And then bring your hands together at heart center. Inhale, open your hands wide like you are pushing something away, opposite sides of your space. And then draw your hands back to center at your midline. We'll move with breath. Inhale, open, really expand, take up space. Exhale, draw everything back in. Press your palms together. One more like that. Inhale, get wide. Exhale, draw in and stand tall. This time, inhale, open up. This time, exhale, lean to your right. So sweep your left hand up and over. Your right hand could come outside your leg or to your hip. Feel a big stretch through your left side body. Your gaze could be down, forward, or up toward the sky. Inhale, lift back to standing, arms wide. Exhale, lean to your left. And take time, the first time on this side, find a little support, maybe with your left hand. Big opening through your right side body. Your hips stay level, but your right hip is reaching to the opposite side of your space. We'll take that side to side with breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lean. Inhale. Exhale. One more like that. Each side. Inhale, come back to standing, arms wide. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we'll move through a half Surya Namaskar A or a half Sun A, and maybe try it with a little wider base or stance in your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up, big stretch up. Exhale, forward fold. As you fold, your hands could come wide or they can pass through center. And maybe your hands just come to your thighs or your shins. Maybe you lower all the way down to the ground. You could relax your head, maybe add a little sway or movement. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs long in your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand tall, keep a little bend in your knees, reach out and up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Two more with breath. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment here, close your eyes or gaze to your fingertips. Set an intention for the rest of your practice, maybe the rest of your day. In her book, Braiding Sweetgrass, Robin Wall Kimmerer shares that in some native languages, the term plants translates to mean those who take care of us. Especially if you are outside as you practice, take in your surroundings. Find what serves you today as you inhale, fill up. Open mouth, exhale, send it out. One more breath. Inhale through your nose. This time, seal your lips, exhale through your nose. Good. Keep that. Open your eyes. We're going to take a little wider stance, starting to move into some standing postures. So as you take a wider stance, especially if you're practicing outside, your surface might be a little uneven. If you're in grass, it might be cold or wet or a little pokey. And just try to embrace that as part of your practice. Getting a little outside of our comfort zone isn't always a bad thing. Then point your right toes to the right. Open your arms wide and start to bend into your right knee. And you may need to make some adjustments here, maybe take a little wider stance. And you could add a little pulse or a movement and then start to settle in. Your arms are wide like a T. Keep your shoulders over your hips and bend, bend, bend into your right knee. From here, you could gaze over your right fingertips. And we're gonna be here for about 7 to 10 more breaths. So anytime you need a little rest or a pause, feel free to straighten your front leg. You can shake out your hips and join back in. So when we hold standing postures for a little bit longer, it gives us an opportunity to sit in discomfort. And then it's up to you to discern the difference between discomfort or pain or potential injury. So if you're here and you're just kind of grinning and waiting for it to be done, or you're holding your breath, take whatever break you need and then join back in. And your breath is such a great sign of what you need if you're holding your breath. Then inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, you can drop your hands, maybe shake it out, and we'll do that on the other side. So turn your right toes forward, point your left toes to the left side of your space, and start to bend into your left knee. And again, you can find any pulse or movement that you might need, and then you can open your arms wide like a T. Really anchor down, so press through the outer part of your right foot and engage your right quad. So your back leg is active and working. If you live in a tight body, your front knee might be rolling in a little bit. That makes sense, but think of an external rotation like your inner thigh is spiraling up toward the sky. And as you settle in, about 5 more breaths here, think about getting wider. So kind of like what we were doing earlier in class, reaching through your fingertips to the opposite side of space, of your space, and breathe. Slowly straighten your left leg, point your toes in. So we'll add on from Virabhadrasana to Warrior 2, where we just were, sinking in with your right leg. From here, inhale. Exhale, extended side angle. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh. Your left hand can stay on your hip or it can reach up toward the ceiling. And as you take a little time in your extended side angle, I'm going to find a little different position so I can get wider. So maybe you need to make some adjustments too. Open your chest. If you're using your forearm for support, try to avoid just collapsing into your forearm. And you could even start to lift your forearm away or extend your hand down. We're here for a few more breaths. So you might start to feel a little shake or a tremor in your legs. I feel that. Press in with your right heel, active through your back leg, really paying attention to your body, your breath. You can always come back to your mantra. Now, lift your chest, come back through Warrior Two, straighten your front leg, and we'll take that on the other side. So especially if you have the opportunity to practice outside, we just have to work with our surroundings. So again, you might not have much space. You might need to move around a little bit. Your surface might be uneven. I have some koi fish next to me in the pond that kind of keep jumping out of the water and giving me a little startle. So if you see me jump, that's what's happening. But we just kind of roll with it. That's part of our practice. From Warrior Two here, extended side angle, left forearm to left thigh, chest is open. And breathe. So your breath is giving you information about your body. Just like earlier when we talked about holding your breath as a sign, maybe you just need to come out and get back in. Doesn't matter how pretty your posture is or your pose is. If you're holding your breath, it isn't yoga. So come back to your big expansive inhale, your deep full exhale. Notice if you're kind of collapsing. Notice if you're waiting for this pose to be done. Can you connect to your surroundings? Find an object to focus on, a tree, a plant, a flower. Stay with your breath. And we're going to come out with care. Inhale, Warrior Two, claim this pose. And then exhale, start to straighten. Good. We'll do one more standing pose each side. I'm going to wait for the screaming baby to stop. Yeah, all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, I didn't have much space in here at all. Yes. We'll take one more standing pose each side, triangle Trikonasana. So come back to your wide stance, beginning with Warrior Two, arms wide. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Reach your right fingertips forward, like you're reaching past your toes, and then bring your right hand down. Your right hand could come to your thigh, your shin, or maybe down to the ground. Left hand can start on your hip, or you can start to extend it up. But think of your side bodies being long. So know that the goal isn't necessarily to touch the ground. We're not trying to collapse our chest. And this is asking a lot of our hamstrings, our core. Really squeeze your inner thighs together, your adductor muscles, and maybe keep a little bend in your standing leg. We're here for about 5 more breaths. Notice when resistance starts to come to play, and that can be resistance like physically. You feel resistance, it can be mental or energetic. Pay attention to what you're feeling, where you are feeling it, or not trying to ignore or suppress. And then come back to your breath. Slowly lift. Inhale, Warrior Two, bend your front knee. Exhale, hands to your hips, straighten your leg. Okay, last side, triangle Trikonasana, wide stance. From Warrior Two, inhale, straighten your left leg. And as you exhale, really reach out, so you're staying long through your sides, then hinge. So you create all that length, you want to keep that. And wherever your right hand lands is fine for you. And then open your chest. So there is a little twist happening here in your torso. And you can choose to gaze down. That might feel better in your neck, forward or up toward the sky. Just avoid your forehead kind of hanging or dropping below your neck, so your neck is long. Notice your front foot. Really start to dig in with your left heel. Squeeze your inner thighs, and then look for a little bit more space. Maybe extend your right hand up toward the ceiling. Couple more breaths. You can do it. And slowly lift. Inhale, Warrior Two. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Bring your feet closer together. Star pose. Turn your heels in, point your toes out. So we're not working onto a balance beam. Your feet are at an angle. And then really take up space. So dig in with your heels. Activate or really squeeze in your quads, the front of your thighs, strong through your legs. And now you can really explore space through your upper half. Maybe even gaze up as you inhale. Exhale, bend your knees. Bring your hands to your thighs. As you sink your hips low, your knees track in line with your toes, so maybe you adjust your stance. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower your right shoulder to the midline or drop it down towards center and start to open your chest to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Lower your left shoulder down, open your chest to the right. And continue side to side. Back to Robin Wall Kimmerer's quote, plants take care of us. Just recognize how you feel when you get a nature fix, when you get to be outdoors, surrounded by trees or green or fields. How does that impact your physical body, mental, energetic? And then inhale, back up, star pose. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips and point your toes more toward the front of the space. It's okay if your feet turn in just a little bit. Hug your elbows in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. So take your time, lead with your heart. Keep a little bend in your knees. For a little bit more balanced challenge, point your elbows up toward the sky. Know that you could lower your hands down to the ground between your feet. Capture ankles, calves, whatever is accessible here. Try to stay active in the fronts of your thighs. Really look for space and length through the back of your legs. Then add a little bend to your knees. Inhale, long spine as you lift up. Exhale. Good. For a little balancing, we're going to play with figure 4. So stand on your right leg and pick your left knee up to about hip height, and you can flex your toes back. Maybe you're near a bench or something you could rest your hand on for support, but know you could always lower your left toes down at any time. From here, bring your left ankle to your right thigh, flex your foot, open your knee, and then start to sink back like you were sitting into a chair. So you have a figure 4 shape with your legs. Draw your navel up and in. You're staying nice and long in your spine. Hands can stay at your hips or they can come to your heart, and then start to sink in. And as we're balancing here, it's okay if you wobble or fall out. Know that maybe you just straighten your leg a little bit more figure 4. I think that's more work on my outer left hip, so that might work for you. Or sink in, or you could even add a forward fold. Bring your fingertips more toward the ground. Right leg is straight as you fold and relax your head. So many options for you to personalize. And just as if you were caring for plants, your needs to care for your body can change every day, season to season. And really just honor where you're at today. We'll slowly come out. Start to straighten your right leg, pick up your left knee. Inhale. Exhale, lower your left foot down. Balance on your left leg. Pick your right knee up. Flex your toes back first. Take a moment here, balancing. Draw your navel up and in. As you are ready, start to settle into figure 4. Right ankle crosses over your left thigh. Open your knee. And then sink in. Hands can come to your heart center. And if you have a regular yoga practice and you've practiced in a studio, you're on a flat surface, your room, environment, temperature, humidity, all of that stuff can be controlled. When we're outside, when we're in nature, we can't control what's happening around us. And that's a good practice as well. So if you're feeling a little wobbly or unstable, if there's distractions around you, try to let that be part of your practice today. Maybe move into your forward fold for the last few breaths or your other variation. And as slow as you can, start to lift your chest. Lift your right knee, inhale. Exhale, lower your foot back down. Good. Come back to a standing meditation. Hand on your belly, maybe a hand on your heart. Find a soft gaze at the earth, a flower, a plant, a tree. Feel your heart rate. Feel your breath. Feel connected to your surroundings, whatever they may be familiar or new. Plants are those who take care of us. When you're feeling overwhelmed or in the midst of hardship or challenge, maybe just take a little break. Take your practice outside, take a walk outside, get your nature fix. Find your practice. And then bring your hands together at heart center. We'll close with one final breath together. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, let it go. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Casey. If you haven't yet, please take a moment to subscribe. Know that you are supporting a small business in Tacoma, Washington. And for you Tacomans, if you would like to support the Seymour Conservatory, know that they are currently closed to the public, but they are doing online or virtual plant sales. So you can find the link for that information in the description box below.